Yeah, you want to talk about One Piece? Would you like this show? Everybody likes this show, but me. I'm feeling like I got crazy balls.
So how many episodes have you seen of it so far?
Dude, the fact that I got through all of the first one is a miracle. I found it to be the most chaotic, impersonable, inaccessible nonsense I've ever seen before. I can understand how it's an anime. This is the problem with talking about this is just going to be just like The Last of Us, where you talk about the show and all anyone can return to you is like talk about the video game. Like the anime is on the tip of their tongue, I feel like. But you didn't see the anime and you liked it. So
I liked it. There's this pirate king who's sentenced to death, and with his dying breath, he's like, I have a treasure out there, and you can find it. And it's a world of pirates. It's a mostly water planet with a strip of land. There's a lot of factions trying to find that treasure and become king of the pirates. And then you're introduced to Monkey D. Luffy. And right away, he's like, I want to find the One Piece and be the Pirate King. So right away, I know exactly what that character wants.
Look, dude, I couldn't connect with one character. There's the one with the glasses. There was the hot girl from Spirit Halloween, the Spirit Halloween employee. And then there was like the anime guy who was like stoic like BTS cast member, singer. And all of it was shot like Sam Raimi was doing Blow. I mean, the costuming I was just like, there was some like pirate queen or something, and she looked like a lunch lady.
I'm gonna level with you there. I think the costuming does come off as like going to an anime convention.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest hurdle. But I was down to clown for this show. I don't know. There was some spunk to it that I was in for it. It was kind of funny. I started Dahmer on your recommendation, and it's good, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I'm not gonna sit down and relax and watch Dahmer.
No, that's for me to do.
Yeah. It is. I do think Dahmer is good, and the performances are great, and the direction's great. It's a good show, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. But One Piece was. I liked the adventure of it. I like the characters. I think they're good silhouette characters. So you have, Monkey D. Luffy. You can describe who he is. He's very go-getting. He wants to do this. He's very optimistic. He's very he's very supportive of other people's dreams. He's always asking like, what's your dreams? I'm going to help you do it. He's very loyal in that way. So, those are things I can't do say like in Ahsoka, like Hera. I don't know how to describe that character besides, a wooden board.
If that's our standard, is like you got to be able to name like a thing about them.
but it's more than that in this series. As you watch it, you learn more about them. You understand why their world point of view is the way it is, because you see their backstories. You see like Zoro, he has the 3 swords, and you're like, oh, why does he have 3 swords? That's silly. You can see he does some fight scenes with it. It's kind of fun. And he's stoic, obviously. But then you learn the reason in the later episodes why he has that 3rd sword, and it holds in more meaning for those scenes where you notice the sword and stuff like that.
I'll tell you one thing. It looks like they spent a little bit of money on it for sure. And if there's one thing about Netflix, they're not afraid to spend money like Disney is. Yeah.
And lots of practical sets, lots of I actually do think I think it's shot pretty well. I think there's a lot of cool lensing, a lot of wide angle lenses, like close ups with wide angle.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It was stylized at least, but it reminds me of like I don't know if you saw like Bad Taste or like Meet the Feebles, like early Peter Jackson, where he like zoom up to somebody's face with like a wide angle lens, and like that's the aesthetic. It's just a little off putting.
It is, but it's I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have an aesthetic, and I think it matches the show. It matches the characters. It gives it some deliberate deliberateness to it. And I really like the show. I really like the characters. I think this character, the characters all start off very disjointed with each other, and as the season goes, they come together in kind of an Avengers Assemble sort of way, and it's very satisfying once they are all together and all on the same page.
It just felt so fucking fake to me. It felt like,
yeah, I don't like I said, you have to get over the anime convention aesthetic, and I think I was down to clown.
Like I didn't believe 1 ounce of this world, EJ. I didn't believe in it for a second. I just felt like I was watching somebody's cartoon show, I guess. I don't know, but and I will say this. Because I have a completionist mindset, it's hard for me to abandon things once I start them. I do think that if this was not like, binge 10 1-hour long episodes, if they were releasing it week to week and we had the pod to talk about it on, I would continue watching it. But dropping a big steamy shit on me of One Piece and being like, watch the whole thing, I can't do it. It's not in the cards. And so I just want to say that because there's people out there, they're like, why do you keep watching Ahsoka or whatever? I'm like, because I have a completionist mindset to some degree. And when you only release like a 45-minute episode every week, I can manage that. In doses. I can't, but yeah, if you dropped, like they're gonna drop all of Echo on us all at once, and I don't think it's in it for that may be my first Marvel that I'm out.
And I think they're doing that on purpose because they want that stinker to pass. But yeah. I agree with you completely. I think if this show was on the week-to-week model, it would have done so much better. And I think it's doing great now. There's a lot of word of mouth. Every week it seems like somebody's discovering it. But if it was week to week, like House of the Dragon, it became kind of like a really big discussion thing every week, and I think that's only free advertising for me for the show, and it keeps it in the zeitgeist. Like this, in a couple more weeks, this will be gone. But if it was week to week, they'd probably have all the way till Christmas. People would be talking about it.
I heard an interesting stat the other day that was just to emphasize how divided the audience is now, how many shows and options and social media and video games, the things that divert everybody's attention. In 1993 or 4 or whatever it was, on a random Tuesday when Home Improvement would air on prime time, it would bring in 24 million viewers.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I can see how maybe if I was a teenager, I would enjoy this. Maybe that's possible.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like I would say the same demographic as Star Wars. Yeah. Teen or young teen, middle school to teen.
I'm clearly the odd man out. I keep running into people who loved it. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm like outside of the Matrix or something.
I was watching it. I'll be honest. I was watching it. I'm like, Frankie's going to hate this.
So tell me why you thought I was going to hate it.
It's because anime, like it's the same reason why, I don't know, like a certain RPGs, I would be like, yeah, Frankie's not going to like this. I'm going to be loving this. A lot of people might love this, but Frankie's going to, it's not the same rhythm. It's not the same wavelength.
You just feel like as my friend at this point, you can vibe that out,
Yeah. It's like, but, and then here's the thing is I watched the first season. I loved it. It's probably my favorite thing I've seen this year so far.
Holy shit. For me, it was, I put it on tier with like Moon Knight. I feel like I did about Moon Knight.
No, this has way more heart than Moon Knight. It's like way more people cared about this way more than Moon Knight. Yeah. And there was some really touching moments in the later episodes where I was like, this is really affecting me. There's like some father-son sort of relationships that really get that are they really got something out of me. And then then after I finished the series, I got interested and I looked up the anime. I can't watch that thing. Yeah, it's too much. It skews even younger, like the tone, and it's even crazier. Like I think the live action is perfect for normies. It like tones everything down nice. It smooths all the plot lines out. It so you get to like the points faster, and anime tends to stretch everything out. And
I said somebody was like adapting. Somebody in our Discord was like adapting One Piece. That's a big task. That's like adapting the Bible. I was like, I just watched an hour long of this thing, and to me, it's just kids running around.
So I don't think I would recommend the anime at all, and but I recommend this. I think you, and if you are like really really into the story here, go watch the anime if you can tolerate it.
Well, look, I'm glad people are enjoying. It's good that people like these. I certainly begrudge nobody their chaos crack show, but
because and some background about me, because I don't watch anime, and I didn't know much about One Piece except that vaguely it was about wacky pirates or something, and so going with that, I loved it. So
Holograde fighters call out their finishing moves.
No, they don't.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.